What's up, guys? All right, today we're going to talk about open chords again, as I do have a lot of students that are great musicians but have just started with guitar playing and want to be able to go to open mics and showcases and get their songs out. So I did a little bit of a step-by-step video before on YouTube as well, where kind of changing all these chords can be a lot of information to take all at once, and I wanted to break it down a little bit more step by step. This is going to deal with rhythm. So I want to find this rhythmic place where you're pushing yourself, all right? So you're not being overly cautious about the next chord. This always happens. You kind of hear, and then you switch, and you look, and then you look down here, and then you play it, and then you look back, and you switch. I want to get away from that, but I still want the notes to come out clean. So this is going to be a little bit of a step-by-step in that direction. So instead of doing crazy chord progressions, we're going to start with an easy one. Okay, we're going to start with this G with the two third frets at the bottom. All right, and then we're going to move to C add 9, which is these two coming down. Now, the reason that I really like this chord progression is that motion is generally easy, and that's a way that we can actually start moving two fingers at the same time rather than just one, all right? So you have this now, a nice strumming pattern, even if you just do down 4 times and move it. All right, whatever that pace is, I want you to start there. Don't give yourself time to change, okay, or to like be overly cautious. All right, that's why you need that metronome on, so you don't get this. All right, we're trying to push that part of you. You can make those changes quicker than you actually think is possible. All right, so that's going to push you in that direction. Now, the other thing that I really want to focus on is making sure that you're not lifting those up. So then the next part of this exercise becomes, as you're hitting those bottom 2 strings, moving these. So it goes like this. All right, so this focuses on 2 parts of changing chords, is anchoring, not moving the fingers that we don't need to move, and moving the fingers that we do need to move. So we get away from this going back to neutral and then going to the next chord and going back to neutral and then going to the next chord. Okay. So now the next part of this exercise will now be G. That's C add 9 to D. Now what I like about D is it's completely different now. This is a little bit more open, and then this D chord is a little bit more scrunched together. So we're going to have to deal with getting our hand up and over and directly in to the strings. So there's nothing hanging over, none of those notes, but we still have our third finger as an anchor. So if you're here on G, then C, add 9, that note's still ringing through to D. All right, so now we're moving fingers in a completely different way to get from that C add 9 to that D. We're moving this finger all the way down here and this finger over, all right? But our third finger is going to stay right where it is. That is going to be much more difficult than you think it is. So I just want you to try that. Now, as you're doing those exercises, what's going to happen is going from G to C, you have to move everything all at once, right? But instead of going back to this neutral position and building the chord from the ground up, you're actually going to be able to make those changes a little bit smoother using the anchoring. Even though there isn't an anchor, your hand is going to be used to that. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable with not jumping all the way up. So that's number 1, and then not giving yourself too much time in between. Once you do get to those other chords, if you want to play just a C or G, C to D, if you get this, keep going in that rhythm to make those changes. And I know usually when we're doing like our chromatic exercises, I say only go as fast as you can to get every single note to come through. There is a sweet spot if you move that tempo up just a little bit, where like maybe like 80 or 90% of the notes are coming through clean. It's actually going to push yourself a little bit more. So that going nice and slow, making sure every note is coming through and making sure every chord's coming through is awesome. More as a warm-up than it is as an exercise to push your rhythm even further and your quickness a little bit further. So let me know if that works out for you guys. There are other chords to use. Those are my favorite because there's a multitude of things happening. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much.